All right, so it's a one pan, everyone loves it. It's not expensive to make and it's so delicious. We're making a one pan. I'm calling it Greek style, totally just inspired lemon potatoes and meatballs, although we're making like oblong meatballs, patties maybe, I don't know. They're delicious. It's a beautiful dish, so good. You will love it. This is just my version of it. And it's not authentic by any means, but it is really delicious. So we're gonna start right into it. I'm gonna make like the marinade slash broth portion first because I want that ready for me. In this cup, I've got extra virgin olive oil. To it, I need to add loads of lemon juice. I'm gonna do 2 lemons and see if that gives me 1/4 cup. I want it to be really strong, probably closer to like 1/3 cup. You can absolutely do less. If you're like, you know what, I'm not that big of a lemon person, I really just don't need it to be that strong, then by all means, just use the juice of 1 lemon. But around here, when I make lemon potatoes or this lemon situation, I want it to be lemony. Like I want you to know that there's lemon in there. So I'm gonna do 2 full lemons, which takes me to about 1/3 cup of lemon juice because again, we want it really strong. I also have extra virgin olive oil in there. I'm saving this for the end. I wanted to measure it before I added it to my chicken stock, which is just warm water and chicken bouillon powder. Amazing, you need it. It makes a difference, it makes it so good. I'm gonna take a few cloves of garlic and I'm just gonna smash them. And I'm just going to, I'm not gonna add them to the vinaigrette, just to the vinaigrette, to the marinade because I want to add all of them to my potatoes now, but I'm only going to add about half of my marinade to the potatoes. And speaking of potatoes, I'm actually going to do a bit more garlic. What is that? What was that? That was pathetic even for me. What is that? Speaking of potatoes, I already have some peeled. I'm going to show you how I like to cut them, although you could do anything that you want, but I do think that making nice sort of wedges works well for this. You don't want them to be too thin or they'll fall apart. By the way, these are not going to be crispy potatoes. This is not the vibe we're going for, okay? You want them to be about, I'd say, about yay big. Not too thin, not too big. If your potatoes are on the larger side, you might have to get, you know, a few more cuts. If your potatoes are on the smaller side, you may just have to quarter them. I'm gonna go ahead and just get working on all my potatoes. I need about 2 pounds, and my oven's also preheating to 425. My roasting pan's ready. I line it with parchment paper, just because sometimes potatoes like this can stick. I'm also adding a really heavy pinch of good dried oregano to my mixture, along with a good pinch of salt. I should have a fork out here or a spoon, but I don't. But here we are. Give that a nice little mix, and I'm just gonna add the potatoes straight in like that, along with the garlic. Just mix it all around. This is so good. By the way, I've also made this exact recipe using ground chicken, and it worked beautifully and deliciously. So if you want to do it with that, you can. I just kind of wanted to see. I do obviously prefer the beef only because I feel like it just stays really just juicy and delicious and yum, yum, yum. But it does work if you want to make it with some ground chicken. Okay, these are great. Again, these are not crispy roasted potatoes, so it doesn't matter that they're kind of snugly in there. You just kind of want to make sure that they're not, you know, all on top of each other. And I'm just gonna pour about, I would say, let's say 2/3 of this mixture in right now and saving the rest. Gorgeous, a bit more. And this we will save for later, you will see. I'm gonna cover this with foil, pop it in a 425 oven for 45 minutes. In the meantime, we'll make our meatball mixture. All right, we're gonna work on the meatball mixture, okay? I'm gonna use some shallots, garlic, a Roma tomato. My girlfriend, her family is Greek. She told me her mom adds it to the meatballs, so now I do to this style of meatball. Garlic, dill, parsley. I'm gonna add it all to a food processor along with a drizzle of olive oil. I do what I'm told, and it works, and it's wonderful. That's why I do that. And I am just going to process this until it's like very, very, very finely milled, like almost a paste, but not quite, you know? Wonderful. Now I'm gonna just take this. If your tomato, my Roma tomato, I'm not gonna lie to you, not very ripe. So I didn't take the seeds out, but if yours is very ripe and very like watery on the inside, take the seeds out. And then I'm gonna add, this is just plain breadcrumbs that have been sitting here with a little bit of milk, and now they've absorbed all of the milk, and this kind of helps keep your meatballs really nice and plump, and we love that. And then a really cool ingredient to add to this, which makes them so delicious, also works great in chicken meatballs, is a good tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1 egg, some salt, and a little bit of pep. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix everything together, and then it's really important that you just let this sit in the fridge for a while. Now the potatoes just went in, so they've got a solid like 42 minutes left. So while the potatoes are sitting and roasting, not sitting, but they're roasting in the fridge, I'm gonna give the meatball mixture time to sit in the fridge. And as it sits in the fridge, you're doing a couple of different things. The breadcrumbs is gonna start to hydrate and kind of soak up any of that excess moisture. The meat is gonna get really flavored with everything in there. And look, that was just a pound of ground beef, and look how far we have stretched it, and it works so well. Like I'm telling you, it's absolutely delicious. You could also do this, a mix of pork and beef if you wanted. You could do lamb if you wanted, whatever your heart desires. Let this just be a guide, and you can do whatever you want. I'm gonna cover this with plastic wrap nice and tightly. I'm gonna pop this into the fridge for about 40-ish minutes. You can also do this the night before. Just make sure you're putting your meatball mixture in a very tightly sealed container so it doesn't oxidize, and keep it in the fridge. You can do this portion before you even touch the potatoes, whatever. It's just gotta go in the fridge for a bit. Mixture was in the fridge 40-some minutes along with the potatoes that were in the oven for 45. I took them out, took the foil off. Now you have options, because life is full of options. When you are making these and you're making it with ground beef, you have the option to not sear your beef for like your patties. And you can just put them on top and pop them into the oven. When I make this with ground chicken, I like to sear them first, because I think that ground chicken, because it's so lean, it doesn't have enough fat that allows them to get really beautifully browned. I'm also really partial to just cooking up a meatball first and browning it really well in some oil. So I am going to very quickly brown mine on both sides, and I'm just shaping them into these like little oblong pieces, and I'm gonna get about 10-ish out of each one, because I don't want them to be too small, because if they're too small, there's a risk of them drying out into the oven. So I want them to be nice and plump. I've got some oil there in my skillet, a good amount of it, because I want to really get them nice and sizzled and golden. I don't want to get them fully cooked through, none of that. They're just going to be in there for literally 1.5 minutes on each side at a really high temperature, just to develop some color. And when the oil is ready, we'll drop them in. Now, you don't have to do this. You can totally skip this part and just place them on the potatoes and pop them into the oven. I just think you get a better texture just when you cook them a little bit on each side, just to get a little crust on them. The texture is better. I feel like they retain their moisture a little bit better, but that could just be in my head, because I love a brown meatball. Do you know what I mean? And they don't take, this part does not take very long. Like I said, maybe 1.5 minutes or so on both sides, medium-high heat. So you're literally just looking for them to like get that seal, that golden brown gorgeous color. I'm putting them all in at the same time because it's a huge skillet. And again, I'm just looking for a little bit of color. I'm going to wash my hands, and then I'll start flipping them using 2 forks, which I'll show you. See, that's it. Quick, 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 quick. Beautiful. Just a little quickness, you know? That's even a little bit dark, doesn't have to go that far. Not yet. That will wait. This one's ready. And then I'll just take them out, put them on the plate, and then those are beautiful. See? Don't take long, but I think it makes a big difference. You can totally skip this if you want. I just, like I said, I like it. I like making sure that everything is beautifully and evenly browned. And also this way, you make sure that both sides are evenly browned in your pan so that you don't, and then you don't have to flip them, you know? Gorgeous. Beautiful. Oh, it smells so good. Believe it or not, I can really smell the mustard, which may seem a little odd, but I like that. That is exciting to me. Carefully, because you don't want to, remember, they're very tender because they're not cooked on the inside. Carefully just kind of nestle them among the potatoes. If they go on the top of the potatoes a little bit, it's okay. And now you're going to take the remaining marinade. You're just going to pour it over the top. And now this is going to go into your oven uncovered for another 40-ish or so minutes. And I will show you what they look like when they come out. Proper home food. Make yourself a nice salad, like a Greek style salad, real chunky, real delicious to go alongside, and it is perfection. Now pop this in. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Now that looks absolutely gorgeous. This went back in for 45 minutes. I let it cut, and when it come out of the oven, I let it sit for like 10 minutes before we dive into it, and it's gorgeous. You can plate this on a platter. I think it's beautiful to just bring to the table as is. Like I said, make a nice salad, something fresh, something really nice that goes alongside. I like to sprinkle it with lots of dill, although you could do parsley. I just happen to really love dill. A few lemon wedges, and you are good to go. I mean, look at how beautiful this is. And watch this, like the juices are just delicious and delightful. You know what I'm saying? This smells so good. I like a nice amount of juice to spoon over. Oh, look at that. How beautiful is that? It is making my mouth water just looking at this. It looks sensational. You can squeeze a little lemon on top if you want, but we put a good amount of lemon in there. Potato fall apart. Perfectly lemony. Hot though. Look at how tender this is, watch. Watch the meatball. It completely melts. I know it's gonna be super good, really flavorful. Literally, like, you don't even have to chew it. It's sensational. You will absolutely love it. This would be great all summer season with some nice, delicious, picky sides. You are in business. Go to laurainthekitchen.com for the written recipe. Hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.